Hello, and welcome to the Intriguing and the Unknown. Tonight we have a special guest, Michelle LeBaron, the Ghost Magnet. Michelle is a paranormal investigator who is an intuitive and also extremely empathic and a sensitive. She uses her intuitions and feelings and a combination of old school and new school methods of investigating. She has collected video, audio, and photos and compelling data of the afterlife. Michelle has actively investigated for 14 years now and given the name the Ghost Magnet by some of her friends and people she has investigated with. The dead often speak to her through electronic communication devices, EVP, and disembodied voices, sometimes even calling her out by her full name. Michelle does not take kindly to bullies in the field, people who are not who they portray on social media. She is down with real people and out there who have true passion in the paranormal field and not down with the coattail riders and fake personas. Michelle is on two paranormal teams, REAP, West Coast, and a docent at the Nevada State Prison Paranormal. She also works alone as well as collaborate with other investigators and teams. Michelle is also a creator on TikTok and enjoys seeing and putting a smile on people's faces and tickling their funny bones. When Michelle investigates the paranormal with others, or even with spirit, she incorporates some humor to lighten the mood and make others comfortable. Michelle does have a serious side as well, and when it comes to communicating with the afterlife, this is her passion and true calling. Michelle is also passionate about teaching and mentoring others, especially the new generation of investigators. Michelle's main goal is to spread laughter, love, light in the paranormal community. Michelle's paranormal passion runs deep in her veins, and her mission is to make a meaningful contribution to the field, as well as help as many people as she can in the process, both living and dead. Credits: Jack and Kelly Osborne, Night of Terror, Virginia City. I saw that and it was amazing. Ancient Aliens, Shadow People. Unexplained, William Shatner, producer of Haunted Travels on the Amazon Prime, collaboration with numerous YouTube channels. We're recording. Okay. Hi, Michelle. Look,
Hi.
I wanted to interview you because you have a ton of experience in the paranormal world. You seem like a kind and honest person. You're very open about your techniques and seem like an easy person to talk to. So that's pretty cool for a host. I have heard
Thank you.
you say you use various ITC devices such as apps, various boxes, etc. Even though you're gifted, I admire that greatly because most people that are gifted think they don't need to use that equipment. And that's what really, made me want to interview you because you're a little bit different than most people that I know. A couple more things. I pretty much use everything I can get my hands on because you can validate things in different ways to make your
hmm
more credible, in my opinion. And I thought it would be interesting to talk to someone that had that view.
Um, yeah. I use everything. Um, I use my own, my body, my feelings. And sometimes that won't work. So I will implement ITC, which is instrumental trans communication. Um, you can communicate with spirit using anything. You can communicate with a K2. You can communicate with yourself, with your visions, with your being in tune. You can communicate with them with a recorder. Um, it's what they want to communicate back with you. But I use everything and anything. I use old school methods. I use new school methods. So yeah, that's what I do.
That's super cool, and we're gonna get into that a little bit more. But you've just recently sent me some pictures that I kind of just left the door open and let you send me what you wanted to, um,
Sure.
and they're very interesting.
Yes. And of course, I use everything. I use digital cameras. I'll use 35 millimeter. Polaroid is good. I mean, just what you want to use, try it out. I mean, you may capture something, you know. So,
Okay. No. That's okay. Can you see me?
yes.
Okay. So this is one of the photos you sent me, and I don't know any of the backstory on this. Could you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, I do have the our one photo which you probably have is it's a picture of my friend walking away from a mirror at the Washoe Club.
Hmm.
And I just, for some reason something told me to take a photo and so I took it. And actually what I captured here, it looks like a minor. There are a couple photos that I did send you, and they're in those other photos. You can kind of see his bald head, his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his long white beard.
That one.
So, well, that one there is who I think I captured. He is a miner from the 1800s in Virginia City, Nevada. If you click back some more, um, okay, so there's the photo, and then click another.
Oh, let's see. No,
Oh,
those are the two that I had.
hmm. Well, the one that you showed previously, I feel that I captured the miner from 1800s. If you put them side by side, you will see the man in the mirror is clearly that guy, and that guy there is different looking from all the other miners. He has a bald head, and he has a long beard. So
Yep,
that's what I've got.
and
There it is.
that's just a different. Oh, okay, I see now. Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Okay, let's bring that other one up. I can't do both at the same time,
they're
unfortunately.
right there. Yeah. And
What?
it's different. A lot of the miners are either have, like they're dirty looking with the beards and all that, but I'm not I'm pretty sure that's who I captured because he's totally different looking than the other miners. He stands out.
That is amazing. That wow.
Yeah,
Let me bring up the next couple of photos you sent me.
sure.
Um,
So that photo, I was standing behind the Fourth Ward School on one of the little. It's not a stairwell. It's like a place where handicapped people roll down. It's like a little walkway, um, and it was 1:30 in the morning, and it was
uh,
dark. And of course, I feel something, so I've got to snap some photos. And usually I will snap consecutive photos so I can actually say, okay, well, it's not in this photo, but it definitely is in this photo. So, it possibly could be paranormal. But this photo in particular, when you do the next photo, it shows the day photo. Yes. So you see the propane tank?
I do.
In the first photo, it's black and you can see the propane tank, which was done at night. So what I actually think that happened is I stepped into a time warp, if you will. Like I stepped into time. And if you look at these photos, you can see the carriage to the right. You see two men sitting in the carriage with cowboy hats. And then if you look, you can see in front of them are skeletal horses.
I do see that. I see all of
And so what I spoke to a friend of mine who her name is Debbie. She runs the Bats in the Belfry tour. She told me that D Street was the street that the funeral processions happened. So what I caught is a funeral procession in time. And then I have another photo that I sent to you that's black and white. There you see a carriage, the guy, the horses, on D Street in Virginia City.
That's amazing. Let's go back
Yeah.
to, I just want to go back to the original one just to kind of show
Sure.
everybody
It's dark, yeah.
impression, and then we'll go to this one. Gosh.
Yep, that one, yeah. And I think, did I send you a bigger one where you can see the full-on view there? If you could, I don't know if you can blow that up, huh? Oh, yeah. And then go to the, move over a little to the right. There you go. Keep going, right there. So you can see you can see to the right, that's the carriage. And then you can see the two men sitting down and then the
Wow.
two horses in front of them.
That's amazing, Michelle.
Yeah, that's like a lot of people say that's their favorite capture that I've caught.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. I've got, let's see, a street view that I'm going to bring up. And I think that was the photo.
So that one, I was investigating with a fellow investigator, one of my friends, and we were in the back of the courthouse in Virginia City. It's kind of like next to the Opera House. But we were in the back, and then we started to walk forward, and she goes, I just saw somebody walking through the wall. And I'm like, really? So I started to take photos. And so you have a first and second photo, which there's nothing. And then the second photo, there's something. And it is a cowboy walking down the street. And there he is. That's a widened view. But you can see that you can see his hat. This is like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody walking. It was just us two. It was absolutely silent. But you can see he's missing a leg because he's not fully manifested, basically. You can see his cowboy boot and his hat, and he's just walking on by.
Blow that up a little bit. And you have another one here. You want to show that?
Yeah, that one's I darkened so you can see him a little better.
Yeah, you can see it a lot better there. I mean, I do see it in the other photo. You can see the hat. You can see the boots. Then he kind of thins out in the middle where his jeans, his booty would be, I guess.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I mean, I have so much. There's so much I have. I mean, I've got terabytes upon terabytes of stuff that I possibly could have, the holy grail, and I don't have time to go through everything. I mean, I've caught some pretty compelling things. So
I'm impressed. Normally I don't put a whole lot of, credibility towards photos, but the way you laid that out and you showed, an actual what a procession would have looked like, and then what you see in that photo, that's an interesting parallel there. I mean, I see something there. And
they say that Virginia City is a huge time warp. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever been to Virginia City?
So I went with my two boys, and I had a big trip planned. We were going to go see my mom in Pahrump. So we spent a night in Virginia City, then we went to Tonopah, and then we went to Pahrump. And there was a bad storm coming, and so I only had enough time to really go to Mackey Mansion, and that was interesting. I did a tour there. And they just let us sit there and investigate a little bit, and that was interesting. I've been to a lot of places, and they don't normally let you do that. There's usually a person standing there with you, and so I had a limited amount of time. I definitely am going back. I plan to go back. I I guess there's a Paracon that you do with the searchers, like with Shane and Josh.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'll be there in October of this
yeah,
year.
I'm going to try and make that one this year. And
It's amazing. It's fun. You know, those type of paracons, the ones that Tara and Ryan and Shane and them put on, it's amazing because it's personable. It's smaller than most. They cut it off at a certain amount. And you actually get to learn and learn from others. I mean, I'm pretty stoked that I was able to show, I had to run a group up at the Knights of Pythias, and I was able to show people their first shadow people.
really,
Yeah, and that right there just made my heart strings just, I was just so happy. But it's a really good event. It's very good. So,
I heard
but
it's
it's
more intimate because it's not like 5,000 people, you know, because I've been to those kind of events and I'm done.
it is. And you know, too, if you can hang out till the end of the night, like last time I had like two people with me at the end of the night. So it was like, wow, it was so awesome. But it is personable, it is smaller groups, it's a whole lot of fun. It's more like a family atmosphere. I mean, everybody just talks and hugs each other and investigates and have just, it's a positive thing. So, and that's what it should be.
Yeah, I agree. I got into the Goldfield Hotel. Nick from the well, used to be in Ghost Ventures, held the event,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
there were like 100 people there, and
Ugh, that's,
I almost wish I could have gone back the next day, you know, after all those people had been there and
yeah.
ghost hunted a little bit, you know.
Oh
But
yeah, with all that energy that's like, you know, there for you to soak in. Oh yeah, definitely the spirits were probably really happy.
yeah, right, you know. But
So,
either way, it was a cool experience because that's not some place you can just go into anytime, you know. To be able to have that experience, say I've been there, I've walked down those
yeah,
halls, that it was worth every dollar to me, to be honest with you. I
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Um, I've got quite a few questions for you, and I've
Okay.
put a lot of time. Um, I've listened to a lot of your podcasts that you've been on, and I really wanted to. I wanted to get to know you a little bit and see, you know, how you go about an interview, and I think you'll like my questions. Okay,
Okay.
here's the first
Be
one.
gentle.
I'm going to be very gentle. I'm going to be very
Okay.
kind. Okay. Isn't
Alrighty.
an SB7 the same thing as a Ouija board, in your opinion?
Like I told you in the beginning, it's a communication device. So yes. Absolutely. I mean, even applications on your phones. I mean, spirit can communicate with you. They can manipulate your equipment. They can manipulate your word banks or whatever that's in your phones, and they can communicate. I've got some stuff where they would say my full name, my full name. Now, the person that made these applications didn't just go put my name in their app, you know. Plus, the ones that the credible evidence that I do have of them saying my full name, the person that had this uh, tablet that we were using didn't have my name in there.
Yeah.
And you know, people are like, "Oh, well, they're taking it, your data and da 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 da." Well, my name's not on there, and why would they say my name? You know, so I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's mind blowing. You know, you really can't explain how they do this. I mean, I guess we won't know until we're one of them. You know what I mean? And I plan on being one of them. And I plan on being one of those people, or I plan on haunting and talking to people that actually have passion for this field because I want them to catch the Holy Grail and prove that there is life out there. There's other, there's an afterlife.
I love that answer. I love it.
Yeah, I don't care about the TV, all this other stuff. No, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, hi, how are you? It's Michelle." I'm gonna do that to someone that really is passionate about what they do for the field. So that's my thing.
So I got to tell you, uh, one of the first, say, EVPs, I had an SB7, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
I had a digital recorder right on top of it, so I'm recording it as I go, and I'm going to this spot. I'm in the Central Valley in California, okay, um, just north of Fresno, and around here there's a place called Raymond, California, and
Mm-hmm.
it's ghost town esque. Okay, it has a lot of history to it, but there's a cemetery there, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's about 10 miles from the town, and it's an ominous place. But I decided to do that I'm running the spirit box, and I'm just walking around, and I'm just saying the names on the graves. I'm not even asking questions, okay? And I read one, and it's just doing its thing, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden I hear Brian Bullhall,
That's
and
awesome.
something blew
That
my
is
mind,
awesome.
and I've tried to go back there and recreate that. It's never, I've done EVP asking who it was, no answer, but you can hear it clear as
Mhm.
day, you know.
That's
It,
awesome.
it
That's wonderful.
it went 6, 7 cycles, it's saying it. So, it just blew my mind.
You know what I've tested out, and it's a pretty cool thing, is I was with some friends at the Tahoe house, and what we did is we had our recorder, we asked questions, we got a couple things, but then what we did is we played it back again and recorded with a different recorder, and we got answers on the other recorder from the questions we asked from the other recorder. And I was like, I love this thinking out of the box crap. It's just so awesome, because it's different. It's like a different frequency, because now it's talking in another frequency to the recorder, which captures it. So I wish I could get to that certain frequency where we can have a full on conversation with them. That would be so legit.
So
So
I'm totally getting off track with this interview, but I'm having such a good time
it's okay.
with you. All right. So a lot of times I'll take like a Tascam, a linear
Mm-hmm.
LVP, right? And then I'll
Mm-hmm.
take just a regular digital recorder, and I try and get react, I try and get at least because I like to validate. That's my thing.
Yes, yes.
Try to get it to talk on both, and it never works out ever.
Because they're
I'm thinking,
different frequencies. Like I find the older recorders,
uh huh,
like the old Sony ICD ST25s or the
yeah,
Sony BP 120s,
yeah,
those things capture way more than the newer recorders. And you can get them for $18 on eBay. You know what I mean? I've gotten some pretty amazing EVPs using the older stuff. Even the tape recorders. I don't know if I have one here. A tape
right,
recorder,
right.
like the when you were in kindergarten
Box,
and you got the record
yeah,
button, and
huh?
yeah,
Yep.
those work.
I
Yeah,
have one, and I've used them, and I've gotten evidence. I mean, it's interesting.
it's
But
pretty cool, huh?
my next question, it kind of covers kind of what you were just saying. I mean, I'm sure you know what a DR60 is, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm. I don't know.
You
I'm
know
not
where I'm
too
going.
fond of
You know
that. It
exactly where
just
I'm going.
when they're like, "Oh my God, it said my name," and it's like, and I mean, like, yeah, I'm not. I mean, a lot of people. It's just too staticky for me. I mean, I want to hear full on sentences. I want to be able to hear it nice and clearly.
Yeah. And
I just I don't see paying $3,000 for this square recorder when I can get just as good as that on a little Sony from the 80s.
yeah,
I just
I mean,
I don't.
my backstory is I kind of got started in all this because of Ghost Adventures. Okay, I
Yeah.
watched that stuff and I said I want to go to those places and I want to experience that, and it's the truth. And that's why I got into it. And I know that the DR60, it's because it doesn't have the filters and things in it that
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's like that. And you know, I wonder if people would put a regular digital recorder right next to it, and see if they get the same results. And I've never seen anybody do that. I'm sure
Yes.
somebody has, but
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe it would be like something totally different. Like I don't know. I'm not too into the DDR60. I'm simple. I'll pay $10 for a frickin' cheapie and it works just fine. So
I got to ghost hunt a little bit with Jeff Conkle, and he was using one of those Sony recorders, and we got some pretty cool EVP.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
send it to you, okay?
Okay, sounds cool.
um, can you explain to me? And you kind of covered this already, but the Ovilus is one of those things that people are either they like it or they don't, right? And you can even bring the obvious app into this. I mean, how do you think? And I just want to hear your words. How do you think an Ovilus works?
Word banks, random words, a dictionary of words. And it'll just pop out the words. And sometimes you get lucky and you get a validating word. It just sweeps and then it just shoots out words. There's a lot of ITC apps like that right now that are the same way.
Yeah,
And when they do answer your question, it's like, hell yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
But it's all random. Like it's like you're in a cemetery and it talks about a window in a house, and it's like, wait, this has nothing to do with
right,
where I'm at. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's all word banks. I've actually used the necrometer or the whatever it is in Pluto's cave, and it pops out and says Michelle, and I'm like, I'm in a cave with my friends, and this is out in Mount Shasta, and it goes Michelle, and I'm like, are you talking about me or is your name Michelle? I mean, they're all like conversational pieces where it'll say something, then you can ask, hey, is it you, is or whatever, and hopefully you'll get validation. But then it said twin, and I'm like, okay, you're talking about me. And because I'm a twin. So when it says Michelle and a twin, there's something in there manipulating it, of course, and trying to speak to me. But like I said, it's all a crapshoot, I guess you can say. Luck of the draw, basically. But yeah, it's all communication devices. It's all conversational pieces. It helps you communicate. They're tools.
that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I like about you a lot is, you can put the Ovilus right here. You can have a digital recorder right here. You can get an
Hmm.
SLS. If you get stuff on all three of them or two of them, that gives you a little bit more credibility, you know?
Yes.
And
Sometimes they get bored, and you bringing out that stuff, they get excited. You
yeah,
know, and
something new.
and it actually heightens your energy, which you are your own little EMF pump.
Yeah,
You're like, wow, that's so cool, and you're pushing out your energy, so they're like, yeah, let's communicate.
yeah,
It's something like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my take.
I like it. All right, this one's gonna be a little bit different. Are there ethical considerations to keep in mind when ghost hunting? I bring this up because I just recently heard Tim Dennis from Darkness Radio ask on Darkness Radio, should people do EVP and other types of communications with spirits at places like where 9/11 happened or where the Holocaust happened?
Um, you know, it's fine, um, if you're there for them. to possibly, because those are tragic moments, and there could be spirits, lost souls that are aching to ask for help, to be guided. In that case, doing it with like that, as as you're going to be helping them, that is fine. But to just get clout and views or whatever, or scare tactics or whatever, I don't think that's right. I would never go to a place that was tragic unless I know that I have people with me or myself to help guide these people to where they need to be if they ask.
Yeah.
But for clout and like, look at here, and I'm going to communicate, blah, 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 because all these dead people, there should be a lot of energy. Yeah, because there are probably lost souls there, not knowing that they are dead, or they know that, why can't I speak? Why can't I talk? Why can't I physically show myself? What's going on here? There's a lot of confusion with them as well. So in cases like that, if it's like someplace that is tragic, I would go and investigate it to help more than anything. So
I like that. I like that. Yeah, you bring up a really cool point about having the right tools, you know, to,
yeah.
especially if you go to a place like that, with that situation where terrible things happen, you know, I really, I never thought about it that way, to be honest with you. And
Yeah, if there's a lot of people that are probably needing guidance, and that's, I mean, even when I'm investigating, there, because I investigate the prison a lot because I am a docent there, and there's a lot of people that need help, and all you can do is give them hope and guide them the best you can, and tell them that they can leave and not be stuck there. They can be guided. Like I always tell people, we're not gods, we're not Jesus, we're not any of that. But us, light workers and mediums or whatever, people that are blessed with these gifts, um, should be the ones being able to do that for them. So
I like that. Changing the subject again.
okay.
Do you think it's possible for a human being to harbor spirits, to manipulate them or control them? I guess it's not completely changing.
Um, no, I don't think so. I know that I've had come into instances where highly, like higher power spirits can control the other spirits. I don't think we can say, "Hey, you're staying here. You ain't going nowhere." I mean, I think that there's, because I've had times where I've been in a location and there's like this really strong energy that says, like it'll come through a box, like they're mine, I control them, and then you're like, "Well, can we speak to them?" And they're like, "No." Or if I'm like, can I please speak to somebody, and then they'll let one or two through. But like at Washoe, there is a very high powered energy that controls everything. It controls every spirit. It keeps them at bay. It keeps them distant. Unless he is trusts you, he won't let them. Unless he trusts you, he won't let them through.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't think humans can control the spirits.
Mhm.
I think higher energy can control them.
Okay.
Or if they control themselves where they don't want to be controlled,
Yeah.
they make that decision.
Why do you think some spirits stay in the same place and some spirits are transient?
Um, that's a great question. Um, I think that they can come and go as they please. But like in some of these haunted locations, they like where they're at because people communicate with them. I don't think everybody is like stuck in one place. I believe that they can come and go at their free will. But like if you're in a haunted location and you got all these people coming in and talking to you all the time, and you're just tired of transitioning, going all over the place, you just, oh, I'll just stay here. Like this is my place, you know, because there's always, when you're in these locations, there's always a lot of the same spirit. I think they enjoy communicating with the living. And of course, a lot of them are lost souls, or they're stuck here because they are afraid to go to the light because they've done so badly in our world that they don't know if whether that light is heaven or if it's hell. So they stay. It's scary for them.
Right. I'd probably be like that if I were a ghost too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think me too. I'd be going, I don't know if I want to go to that light. I just, all we can do as investigators is give people hope, you know, that there is a place to go when you pass. And, you know, I've done home investigations. I've come in contact with people's loved ones, and, you know, I gave them hope and help people. That's it, you know, that's how the paranormal should be, you know, mostly to help the living and the afterlife and the non-living, of course. So
I'm loving these answers, Michelle. You're awesome.
thank you.
Okay. I personally, I'm uncomfortable with the Estes method and methods similar to that, like the Gonsfeld. I think you're putting yourself in a position of vulnerability. I'm curious what your opinion of those methods are.
Yes, you are. You're basically channeling. You are the SB7. You are everything to that. I have been attached a couple times doing it. I've seen people's faces morph into other faces. I know the signs now when people are being partially or trying to be attached. I know when to tap people out. I know the body language. So when I'm doing an Estes method, or I'm in a room with someone doing an Estes method, you better believe my eyes are on them constantly. And then I just tap them out before they go. You go under. It's like a trance. There's been times where you're just like, you visually start seeing things, you're hearing things, and you're actually like not here. You're in another, you know, thing. But I mean, and I know I've been there. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, seeing people's faces morph, and I actually do have, I was attached by a serial killer, and I have that on video. I morphed into his face.
Oh my
and God. From the prison, and he jumped me, and then my spirit guides pushed him off of me, and he jumped 3 other people, including, if you want to see it, go on Paranormal Files. I'll actually send you the video.
Okay.
It is interesting. It is an amazing video. I'm in there. I show the video to them. Then Colin gets attached by the serial killer, and it is not Colin at all. I had to pull it from Colin. I had to pull it from everybody. I had to cleanse everybody and pull that nasty spirit, well, the serial killer out of him. And he's at the prison. And like my friend Susan says, it's his own hell. And that's why he stays there. And he rules the roost at that prison. I mean, it's insane.
Where was this? Where was this?
Nevada State Prison.
Oh, see, prisons. I want to go with somebody on that, because the closest thing I've been to that is Preston Castle. You know.
Oh yeah, no.
and
that is so tame.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this right now. I have been all over the United States to
Yeah.
almost every single haunted location.
Yeah.
And the Nevada State Prison, in my opinion, like I always say, is the most haunted I've ever been. It
That-
is scary.
That's
It's
where they
scary.
have that place where they put them, what, solitary confinement, and it's like a mountain or a big rock. Is that the one? It's
No, the
no,
Nevada State?
yeah.
No, I think that's Bushy Mountain,
Okay,
Bushy
I
Mountain
got
in
it mixed up.
Tennessee.
That's
Yeah.
terrifying to me. They just put them in a mountain, and shut the door. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh no, there is some place like that, but actually it wasn't solitary confinement,
Oh,
the rock.
okay.
People think it is. It is actually a place where they gambled, I believe. Um I think there is a part of it though where they put a guy named Eugene in there for years, and when they pulled him out, he came out blind. Yeah, it was.
That's the place. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that this prison, it was maximum security. I've seen some pretty horrific things. It was pretty violent place,
Go ahead and just
but it looks so nice. I mean, when you go in there, you're like, wow, this place is just like so nice and clean compared to all these other ones that are like disarray and all this other stuff.
so the paint's not
Um,
like peeling off all the walls and stuff
no,
like that.
it's
Yeah.
not. It's like it. I mean, it's like they just left yesterday.
Hmm.
I mean, it's from the 1860s. So it used to be a hotel, and then they made it into a prison. But yeah, it's big too. You can't. A lot of people, when they do it, the overnight investigations, it's not an overnight. It's from 5 in the afternoon to midnight,
Hmm. Okay.
because after midnight, we're telling you this, that it's dead. They just like, we're done. We're
Night
done.
time.
Yeah, and then all these people that are there, they do it. They're stuck in one location the whole time because it's so active. They don't go to the other places, and they're like, "Oh my God, I gotta come back," you know. But it's pretty cool.
Ugh, I, I just, like I said, I'm a little uncomfortable with prisons. I mean, as it is, as a human being, I'm just scared to death of them. So I couldn't
Mhm.
imagine trying to go in there and talking to spirits. It's just, or even a jail.
Oh, it's like, I mean, they know us. They know me. They know the other docents. They talk to us. I mean, I walked into solitary confinement with myself and Susan and Hope, and we were above the solitary is the infirmary, and we heard walking and men talking, and we're just women, and we're like, what the hell? Oh my God, listen. And we could hear it. I mean, you can hear them walking and hollering. It's so crazy. We went up there, nobody,
No, yeah.
absolutely no one. It was scary. Yeah, there's a lot of scary things about that place, but it's amazing.
It, as far as that place, what's one story you can tell me that really stands out to you?
Not that place.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, I do. There was a. I went with a group of friends, and we went to Kentucky. We did Waverly. We did Bobby Mackey's. We did Perrysville Battlefield.
Okay.
We did Perrysville Battlefield July 4th. There were fireworks going, which triggered the spirits on the battlefield. Um, we could hear, and it was crazy. We heard horses, like
Mhm.
that in the
Yeah.
fields.
Wow. Wow.
And then my friend Brian, who he's kind of like me, but a male version.
Mhm.
He's like a magnet. And he saw something go into the forest, and he went into the forest. I have a photo, I'll have to send it to you. Um, and he came out weeping. I mean, hysterically weeping, crying.
Wow.
And I'm like, what's wrong, Brian? He goes, he couldn't talk really because he was such. I'm like, I'm going in. So I went in there and I started taking photos, and I took 3 consecutive photos, and I have a picture. It looks like it's like an orb, okay, and then it forms into a human, like a boy,
You're
like a
kidding.
drummer boy. I'm
You're
not
kidding.
lying. This is fucking crazy shit. Pardon my French.
No, it's all right.
Um, so and then it dissipated, and I caught the third photo where he whisked away.
Wait, wow.
And then there's a part up there which is called Blood Mountain, where the Union soldiers were up on the top of the hill waiting for the Confederate soldiers to come up. Well, they ambushed them, and just blood just running down the hill. There were so many deaths. And I was looking through a monocle, a night vision monocle. It didn't have a recorder, it didn't have nothing. But everyone was looking, they couldn't see anything. And I started looking in the flower bed, and I saw a man in uniform laying on his side like this, and you could see his face, like his scalp. He had like his hair was like flipped over. You could see his beard, but then you can see his mouth, and he's going like that. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, and then I started seeing, it's very emotional for me. And then I started seeing more. And people are like, oh, it's pareidolia. It's pareidolia. You're gathering the flowers and making a face. No, this man was gasping for freaking air. It was a side profile of a man. And with all the fireworks and everything, I think it triggered something. So we had everyone's looking like, we need to look, we need to see what you're looking. I dropped down to my knees, and I was so emotional. And my friend Tammy grabbed it. She goes, give me the monocle mesh. And she started to, and I didn't tell her what I saw. Okay. So she's scrolling, and she stops, and she goes, oh my God. And I'm like, what do you see, Tammy? Tell me what you see. And she goes, I see a man, and he's laying on his side, and he's gasping for air. And I just get the chills. And that's exactly what I saw. Yeah. Her and I both saw it together. Everyone was mad because they couldn't see it, but it was pretty intense. So Perrysville Battlefield, I don't see a lot of investigating about that or anything about it. People should go. It's an amazing place. Amazing.
Wow.
So yeah.
What
yeah.
an experience. I mean,
yeah, it was an experience for sure. It'll always be here forever. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing. I won't give up, because the things I've seen, felt, I can't. I just can't. I got to do it till, like I say, my last breath. I will be doing it.
Yeah. Wow, what a share. Man, you got some great stories. You really do.
I'm thinking about writing a book. So
you should
I haven't
definitely think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or have someone write it for you,
I've got a friend that has written 3, and she's pretty successful, and she's a solo editor, so she's gonna help me.
Good. I think that'd be an awesome. I'll definitely read it. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I have so many stories. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of skeptics in the paranormal field anymore. I mean, at least from the stuff I watch, the people I communicate with. What do you think happened there?
I think they're out there.
Yeah.
I think that we have to have skeptics so that we can prove them wrong. There are people that like to poo-poo things and say, oh, it's a lens flare.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I've had people do that, and I'm like, look, dude, you weren't there. Yeah. You didn't feel what I felt. You didn't see what I saw. So shut your trap. Plain and simple. You can say whatever you want. I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate your comment, but you were not there. So, I mean, there's still people out there. That's what, I think what it is not a lot of people share their stuff anymore. Like the people like me, we don't put it out there. Mine is more for educational purposes, to teach people about the paranormal. And is it paranormal? Is it not paranormal? I mentor people. I think what it is they have nobody to poo poo anymore, because nobody is sharing what they capture, because it's mostly now, and the last 10 years is all nothing but TV and
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah.
TV and entertainment, TV and entertainment. So I think they're there. They're just on the back burner, waiting for someone to share something so they can be skeptical about it. But that's my take. So
I just I think it'd be interesting. You see a lot of ghost hunting groups, and they never have one. You know, at least as far as what I've seen, and it'd be
yeah.
interesting to have one on your team because it just makes you a better investigator. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I have a guy that he's more into doing residentials and helping people,
Yeah.
On a team that I'm running. And I like the analytical, the just the, hey, it could be this or it could be that, could be this, could be that. Perfect. Let's find out if that's the case. I mean, everybody on the team that I run, it's our team. I mean, it's Reap Investigations West Coast and Reap Investigations, which is nationwide. We all, um, support each other, and that's the best thing. I'm very fortunate to have a great team without, um, drama and all that other stuff. We have like hardcore love for each other. So
That's rad.
I'm pretty lucky. And no, it takes me, it takes time to find the perfect mesh too, you know.
I could go on and talk to you for 3 hours, to be honest with you. But I have one more question, and then we're going to get into something I call the lightning round.
Okay.
Lightens things up a little bit.
Okay.
So let me pick one. I have three. I actually had about 60 questions, but I
Oh
narrowed it
dear
down.
Lord.
So, I I found this interesting. I listened to about 4 podcasts that you were on, um, and you have a ghost in your house.
Yes.
Um, what's it like to have a ghost in your house? What kind of activity do you get?
Um, you know, um, voices. I give voices. At first we had a child here, but I don't know where he went. He ended up leaving. There is a male spirit in my home. He, my house is on it. That's all there is to it. I've had people have live podcasts, and there's things like floating above my head and stuff.
An aura?
Um, not my aura, but it's like things that are floating around, like mini electrical orb thingies. I had
Okay.
one guy do a Skype interview with me. He's like, "Holy shit, you got stuff floating above you." I was like, "Really cool." But I mean, my son, he is very gifted, but he doesn't choose to do what I do. He's a musician. He likes to do his music and all that. But I was actually recently, my dog freaks out sometimes too. She like looks in the kitchen and kind of growls, and I'm like, great, it doesn't bother us. I know it's here. I know when it is here, but it's not bothersome. But my son calls me, and he just doesn't want nothing to do with it at all. He doesn't care. But he messaged me. He said, "Mom, there is a large shadow at the bottom of our stairs." And I said, "Well, all you got to do is say, 'I acknowledge you. Hi, let me do my thing and leave me alone and go in your room. And he did. And he said he didn't have any issues. But for him to call me and say there is a large shadow at the bottom of our stairs, you're going to question that. There's so much that has happened in here. It was so haunted that Dead Files wanted to come to my
Really?
house.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what? I live with it, that's just my life is haunted. I'm haunted. So it's just um they tried to come and I told them no because I was taking care of my father. He was very, very ill, and out of respect for my dad, and for one, I really don't care about television shows. I mean, I'll go on if I'm able to express my experiences. I will not edit, I will not fake. So if they ask me, nope, sorry, not going to happen. You either get the real deal or you don't at all.
And it's you know, it's your home. You have it the way you like it. Do you really
Hmm.
want someone coming in there and mucking around and, it's just so personal.
Yeah, well, it's been here for a very long time. The male spirit. I know who it is.
You do.
Yeah. Um, but it's good though. It's not threatening. It's not here all the time. I did have something in here that is just so creepy and so scary. When my son was younger, we had just moved into this place, and there was a young boy who they said, committed suicide in our home. He was 9 years old, and he had an older brother, and they both fought a lot.
Mhm.
And I was talking to my neighbor, and she goes, "Yeah, there was a suicide in your home." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, they didn't put it out there because it's a young child. They won't say that on news. They won't whatever. She said she saw the older boy run across our field. She heard a gunshot. And I said, "Was it a service revolver?" And that just came in my head. I'm picturing it was a service revolver, like a sheriff or a highway patrol or something. And she goes, "As a matter of fact, Michelle, yes, they were up in the closet in my room, the big closet, and they grabbed their father's service revolver. He was a sheriff, and this is what I pictured, that it wasn't the boy committing suicide. I believe the older brother accidentally shot him playing with the rifle inside the closet,
Oh my God.
because the other boy ran across the field when he heard the gunshot.
Really?
Uh,
Wow.
so, but he was here, the little boy. He used to play with Nick's toys. He used to have a Thomas the Train toy. It
Uh-huh.
was a flashlight, but it would make the choo choo sound.
My kids
Um,
had that.
Yeah. And it was in the dining area and it was going off. I'm like, "What the hell?" And I opened it. There was no batteries in it.
Oh wow.
My kid was like, "Mom, my toy's going off." But then one day he came to me and he goes, "Mom, there's something in my closet." So we have a stairs and then there's a coat closet underneath the stairs. Well, my son said that he opened the door and he was like, I think 3 or 4. He was very little. And he goes, Mommy, there's a scary thing in the closet. He's bald, he's gray, he has sharp teeth. And I'm like, "What the hell?" And he showed me how the thing was sitting. It was like had his hands in between his legs and he
Oh,
was looking up at him.
oh, that's terrifying.
But the way he described it was like Golem, the way Golem looked.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, so and I don't like the demon word.
Yeah.
Um, Very, very rare is it a demon. But uh I looked up okay, now a month later, okay, I'm in my office and I've got my phone,
Mhm.
and I'm looking to my right, there's the doorway. Well, I was like on my computer and I saw this like dark gray mist
Oh wow.
come from the top of the door, under the door, and it was kind of dark, a little dark, not too dark. but I saw it and I'm watching it and I grabbed my phone and I'm like, click, 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 like that. And I turned around and there was nothing there. And then I looked at my phone. I just felt something. I looked at my phone and there was a creature-like thing
Oh,
that was bald, had sharp, it looked like Golem, but not like Golem. Um, but I have that photo too, and it creeps people out. And I got rid of it, but I looked it up and I said bald gray. I can't find it anymore. It was a long time ago. Bald gray demon, you know. And then I looked it up and I saw a picture that kind of resembled it, and I forgot the name because it was so long ago. But it was a demon that steals children's souls.
oh no.
So now I'm thinking, okay, that's why the young boy died. And that's why my son saw it. And I was not having it. I got this house fucking blessed, cleared, just got rid of the thing because it is not taking my kid's freaking soul, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I saw what I saw, and I have photos of it, and it is scary. But after that, nothing really happened. Now we just have that one person that hangs out. I have a barrier. He stays. I don't kick him out. He doesn't go anywhere. But I put barriers around the house. I put barriers around Nick's room. So yeah, there's a lot that has happened in my home. But yeah,
Do not
that's.
send me a picture of that thing. I don't want to
Oh,
see
it'll freak you out. I've shown it in my presentations, and people are like, "Oh,
it.
how do you live there? It's not here anymore. It's gone."
Yeah.
So
All
my
right.
kid grew up.
We are on to the lightning round. And this is where I ask you a question with a couple options. You can pick one of those options or make your
Uh-huh.
own. You have to
Okay.
answer the question, though. And you're
Okay.
really good about that. So I started out kind of easy, okay? Black or blue?
Black.
Okay. I kind of say black. Black. All right. Pink or yellow?
Yellow.
Okay. Taylor Swift or Billie Eilish?
Oh God, I like Taylor. I like Taylor Swift.
She is in every lightning round because A, she's so popular, and B, even I admit, well, I'm kind of more into the heavy metal and stuff like that.
Yeah, me
You have
too.
a
I mean, I
couple of
like Billie Eilish.
yeah,
I've just, I've had heartbreak before, all that, and Taylor Swift's music helped me,
yeah.
and that is why.
Okay.
So,
Go with
that
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 answer.
that's why.
Okay.
More
Radio.
more Billie Eilish is more angrier, and I don't want to be that way.
So I'm going to tell you a quick joke, and nobody got this joke, but I posted this video a while back of Billie Eilish singing, right? And
Uh-huh.
to me, when she sings, she kind of sounds like a whale. Okay, there's something about the way she groans and things. It just reminds me of that. So I actually edited in some whale sounds, and nobody caught it. I mean, I guess they didn't watch it long enough because I kind of waited about 10 seconds or so. But I thought I put it on and I crack up so hard. But that's just my you know personality. I laugh
That's
at my own
cool.
jokes sometimes.
I don't know. Have you seen my TikToks?
I have, and they're hilarious. The faces you make, oh my gosh, I love them. They're great. Okay, Radiohead or Slayer?
God, I think I'd go Slayer.
Really? Okay, that's
I
cool.
was a rocker chick back in the day. I
Yeah,
was a little heavy metal girl, so yeah.
sister. Right on. All right. Who would you rather ride in a car with nonstop across the United States? Pee Wee Herman or Lemmy from Motorhead?
No, I don't know. Probably Lemmy. I
Yeah,
think
I
Pee
would.
Wee would annoy me.
The only thing is, I've heard a lot of people talk about Lemmy, okay, and a lot of people that interviewed him always said that he really smelled really bad.
Okay, well, God, I'm either gotta sit with a guy that smells bad or a guy that plays with himself all the time.
Right.
I think I'll just like not go on the road trip.
Yeah,
How's that?
I'm not getting in the car. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. This is a political question, but it's really not meant to be a political question. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Death match between Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. Who wins?
Oh God, probably Hillary, because
I would pick her too.
yeah, I mean, she wore the pants, so I guess we'll just go with that.
I love your answer. Okay. Next question. Death match between Al Roker. You know who that is?
Yes.
Okay. And Martha Stewart. Who wins?
Oh God, probably Martha.
I think she would totally like.
Yeah, he's gotten. Yeah, no.
Okay. Last death match question, I promise. This one is
Okay.
between Zach Bagans and Jason Hawes. Who wins?
I'm gonna say Jason Hawes.
You know, he's a pretty good fighter. I don't know that I don't know. Nobody knows a whole lot about Zach, but I
No,
think
I don't think I'm not gonna go there.
yeah.
Because I won't. But I think Jason Hawes would win.
Yeah. All right. Sweet or salty?
Oh gosh, sweet. I don't like a lot of salt.
Okay. Hans Holzer or Ed and Lorraine Warren?
I would say Hans.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
SB7 or Polterpod?
I actually like the Polter Pod.
I think it's pretty freaking rad, huh?
Yeah. That's from the guy that did Paranologies, right? Did he make the Poltercon?
Honestly, I don't know where it came from. I don't have one. I've used one.
Yeah, I've always wanted. I think it is. It's the guy that used to do Paranologies, who had the other boxes. The What do you call it? The thing that has the periscope.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did like the Poltercom, the periscope, all those things. So yeah, Paranologies. I would pick the Poltercon
Yeah.
for sure.
Leather or lace?
Leather.
I knew you'd say that. Mustard or ketchup?
Mustard.
New Halloween series or old?
I like the older. I like the older Halloween.
The first two were awesome. And
Yeah.
the first one actually, even though it didn't have Michael Myers in it, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yes.
Garfield or Far Side?
Far Side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep, I love that humor.
That's good stuff. I have a bunch of those books and I really enjoy them.
I actually had one sitting here. I swear to God, I do. I have like all the older books of his.
Yeah.
Greg Larson.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
Gary Larson. Yeah.
All right. Virginia City. I already know the answer to this question, but Virginia City or Jackson, California?
Oh, I like Virginia City. I'm not too fond. I mean Jackson's okay.
Yeah.
But I mean Virginia City has my heart. So
that's fair. Pinhurst or Nevada State Prison?
Nevada State Prison.
This one's interesting. McDonald's or Burger King?
Oh God. Gross. I think I would take Burger King Whopper over McDonald's any day.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually bought some nuggets from there and almost puked. It was like it was not chicken.
Yeah.
I could not even eat it. I flipped it open. I was like, this is disgusting. So yeah, no,
I have never had a chicken nugget in my life, believe it or not.
disgusting.
Yes.
Gross.
All right.
Chick-fil-A has good chicken nuggets, so you should try those.
Yeah. I don't want to
Yes.
wait in line. We have one in the town closest to us, and there's always like 20 cars, and I just
They're actually pretty quick though when you go through drive-through.
are they? Are they?
Yeah, just what you should get is like the chicken nuggets and the chicken fillet sandwich with the waffle fries and their special fry sauce.
Yeah.
Holy crap. It's like crap. I
It's
swear to God.
okay.
It is so good. I mean, when you dip those fries in that sauce, it's like, holy woo, yeah. It's
Good
like
stuff.
crack. Yeah.
Okay, last question. You made it through. Just one last one. And I actually added something to this because I asked it the other night and some people added something to it and I thought it made it a little more interesting. All right. So Crocs, Birkenstocks, flip-flops, or bare feet?
I like my Crocs. Very comfy on my feet. I used to wear, well, when I was younger, I wore Birkenstocks
Mm-hmm.
all the way.
Yeah.
But, getting older, the Crocs are really nice on my feet.
So I have RA, and so standing on my feet for a long time.
Uh-huh.
But the Crocs, they make it better. They're the greatest investment ever.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why the nurses and doctors wear them because they're on their feet all the time.
Yeah.
And running around. So yeah, I used to go, oh my God, those things suck.
Yeah.
How stupid is
I know. When I first saw them, I was like, that's
here
ridiculous.
I am walking in. Well, yeah. I'm in shorts and my Crocs with socks. I look really. I mean, the fashion police are coming to get me and shit because I like my Crocs now. So.
Are you wearing them right now?
Huh?
Are you wearing Crocs right now?
No, I'm actually barefoot.
Oh, okay. I got my.
I'm in the house. Yeah.
Well, look, it's been a lot of fun interviewing you, and I like that you're just. I feel like I can ask you anything, and you have such interesting things to say, and I definitely I had about 60 questions. I asked you about 20.
That'll be the next show.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again, and maybe in about a year or so. Thank you for being on the Intriguing Unknown. I really had a good time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I'm gonna.